And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again another day, committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and providing you the timely truth centered around your real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, tax planning, and so much more. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Our number one goals are to educate, entertain, enlighten, and most importantly, we want to engage in an effort to help you win. We want you to save your hotline number in your phone. At some point, you're going to need it. 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-670-7372. Bookmark our website as well, consumerqb.com. A plethora of information available for you on our website, consumerqb.com. You can see links to all of our expert contributors. You can watch our television version of the show, compliments of WeBeam TV, 10 a.m. daily right there. You can also see links to all of our expert contributors, the finest folks in all of Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region of Florida that we've assembled, we've vetted, we bring on the air to help you win and understand these life decisions that you have, making you just a bit more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, Intelligent Talk Radio. Let's go around the horn now, make our introductions. Leo Kane back in studio, Principal Project Manager, Beryl Engineering.
It's always great to be here. I'm in the process of opening a St. Pete office, which I plan to talk about today, and it's just great to be here, especially around all the radio folk.
Awesome. St. Pete office coming soon to Project Manager, Beryl Engineering, and James DeGerome in the house as well, producer for the show. Yeah, man.
I just want to fill in, give an update on what's going on with the show, and kind of piggyback off what Leo was talking about as far as the impact he's had opening a new office and expanding his business, and how the quarterback show can play a role in that for any business out there.
We also have our party coming up as well next month, Thursday, March 8th, over at Cox Media Group. Open it up to some of our listeners out there. If you're interested, reach out. We would love to engage with you and invite you to that. It's going to be a great turnout.
Yeah, it should be a big network opportunity for everybody out there.
Partnering up with Newtown Connections.
Andrew has been here, and now he'll be partnering with us on the 8th. Looking forward to that one. That's going to be a good one.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Giving a shout out to Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora on beautiful St. Pete Beach, our official hotel partner. Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora. It's a restaurant, lounge, rooftop bar as well. Castile restaurant on site. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Beautiful place to stay. Now let them know the real estate quarterback sent you, and you're going to get 20% off of your staycation over at the Hotel Zamora on beautiful St. Pete Beach just by mentioning the Real Estate Quarterback Show. And we're starting off today with a little bit of our Audible and our 2-minute drill. We got the Audible going on. This is the top 10 rags to riches success stories of all time in our series. So we've been talking about. Number 1 was Henry Ford. Number 2 was Walt Disney. Number 3 was Ralph Lauren. Number 4 was Steve Jobs. We talked about Richard Branson coming in at 5. And today we're going to talk about John Paul Dejoria, number 6. He's coming in at number 6 here. And we actually had an opportunity to see him speak over at Anthony Robbins' Business Mastery course a couple years ago over in West Palm Beach. Born to Italian and Greek immigrant parents, this billionaire had to sell newspapers when he was 9 to support his family. He has lived in a foster home, been part of street gang, and jumped through a number of jobs. With a loan of $700, he began what is now known to the world as Paul Mitchell line of hair products. He went on to own 70% of the Patron Spirits Company, the world's ultra premium tequila brand. If this is not enough, rags to riches, we don't know what it is. What is. So John Paul Dejoria coming in at number 6 on our list. And, definitely a billionaire. And what really resonated with me, what was really cool, is over at the Business Mastery, he talked through his whole childhood. He talked about how when he went to a restaurant, he used to order off the menu from the right to the left, kind of looking at the pricing versus, what he was going to get. When you think about that and you think about the extraordinary success that so many people are building in America, there's so much prosperity to be had, and it really is all at your fingertips. You focus your thoughts are going to establish your behaviors, and your behaviors are going to establish, your actions, and that's what's going to resonate throughout your life. So, focusing daily on your goals, your objectives, your strategies, your priorities, your actions. The gospel model is what Brian Tracy talks about: goals, objectives, strategies, priorities, and actions. So slow down and develop the habit of slow thinking versus fast thinking, and focus on your goals. All right, there's your 2-minute drill. Let's go ahead and talk about a hot listing here on the beach. We've got property 1024 Mandalay Avenue, Clearwater Beach. This property is just reduced down to $739,000. Great buying opportunity. 2-bedroom, 2-bath property, over 1,800 square feet, with a split floor plan and beautiful North Clearwater Beach in the Carlisle community, minutes from the Gulf Coast, and a private community on the beach. It's a great rental property as well. A beautiful property here in Tampa Bay. All righty, let's jump right into it. Leo Kane in the house. What are you seeing out there?
Well, this is just amazing. Last month, there was a house that sold for $3.4 million in South Tampa. It was overlooking the Palmacia Golf Course, 17th hole. It was a beautiful house. It was 4 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, but it just goes to show you how ridiculous prices of houses are going out there.
Yeah.
If I might stout some statistics for you.
Go ahead. Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, nationally, now this information comes to us from realtor organizations, but nationally, home prices have risen 5.8% in the past year, but sales have plunged 4.5%. And that's just a warning sign that we've been seeing over the past 2 years, where there just isn't enough inventory. So what's happening is laws of supply and demand. There's not enough supply. There's too much demand. You're going to see those housing prices increase. And 5.8%, it's not really that much when you take a look at Hillsborough, Hernando, and Pinellas counties, because in those counties, Hillsborough jumped up 11.5%, Pasco jumped up 10.4%, and Pinellas 12.8%, led the nation in the amount of a home price increase from year to year.
Wow, that's big news.
It's huge news, and we see it on our end too. With our inspections, our buyers are wanting to get more savvy types of inspections. They want the condition assessments. They want these 203K renovation loan assessments. They're scrambling to find good properties, so that's pushing them towards the worser properties. And these worser properties are even overpriced. I looked at a triplex yesterday. Needs $140,000 worth of work, and he was selling it for $200,000.
Yep.
Nothing appraising would support that.
Right.
It was just, it's just like I said, right now the housing market in Tampa Bay is ridiculous.
And you get all these investors that come in, and they, it used to be they go down to the courthouse steps and kind of see each other down there and have to do it there. Now it's all online. So it's opened up to where you can buy foreclosure properties online by doing your research, doing your due diligence. And a lot of these investors, they know every neighborhood, every corner, every block, south of Gandy, north of Gandy, or north of Kennedy, south of Kennedy. So they see, this property is going to be a winner or a loser based on that, and then then it gets into the condition of the property. And so my point is that there's so much competition, even on the investor side. They're pushing the price points up, and they're ultimately buying a property that 5-10 years ago they could have bought at a much better discount, a better deal, and the sellers are thinking, hey, I'm going to hold out to get the higher number.
I mean, ultimately, you got to live somewhere. And in this real estate market, I've seen it at the GTAR organizations. I've seen it at Pro, which are the realtor organizations in the area. There's only one reason why a house won't sell. It's priced too high.
Right.
If your house is on the market for more than 30 days, sit down with your real estate agent, readjust your price, get this house sold. It's the only reason. There's investors out there. I have 3 that will buy sinkhole properties. So for anyone out there that has a sinkhole property that thinks they can't sell it, if you price it correctly, I have buyers that can do the remediation of the sinkhole. I have buyers that want to turn them into multifamily. I have buyers for every type of property. So if your property is not selling on the open market with a real estate agent advertising it, it's just priced too high.
Yep.
And you'll have to wait for one of these 12% increases to eventually catch up to your expectations.
Yeah,
How does that sinkhole thing work, Leo? If there's a property and there's a sinkhole, how do you guys step in and make that an investment, a safer investment for somebody? How can they get that knowledge about it?
Well, the sinkholes have a stigma attached to them. If there's a sinkhole stigma, and it's been reinforced or it's been remediated, it's the strongest house on the block. So it's just overcoming the stigma.
Right.
A lot of times people will buy sinkhole properties and turn them into rentals, perpetual rentals, because you can buy them 30% off your neighboring houses in the neighborhood.
And there's no issues as far as a second occurrence, even after you've gone through the process.
You can never give a complete guarantee, but I will say the remediated sinkhole house is the strongest house in that neighborhood.
Yeah, because it's going right down into the limestone or whatever the bedrock is below, right?
They've grouted the limestone. They've pinned the house to that grouted limestone. it's the strongest house in the neighborhood.
It makes sense when you say it like that, and it does definitely present an opportunity.
Yeah, and you can buy them at a discount too. I've got one here in Tampa, St. Conrad. It's been repaired, and we're getting calls on it. It's that stigma about it. Some people just back out when they hear, "Oh, it had a sinkhole," but there's really nothing wrong with the property.
Yeah, and the way I teach sellers about their sinkhole properties is you flaunt it. You say, here are the engineering reports and your disclosures, because the last thing you want to do, especially in this market, is tie up a property for 30 days during a due diligence period, and then have that buyer walk out once he discovers the sinkhole. Just hit them up front, because there are, like I said, there's a buyer for every house in this market, even at these prices. If you're priced reasonable, you can sell that sinkhole, double murder, suicide house. All the stigmas that caught on fire from the ghost.
Yeah, there you go.
Probably market it nowadays.
Yeah, you never know.
Selling features. But, I just can't get over this market. They keep saying, when's going to be the slowdown? When's going to be the turn? When's going to be the slowdown? Everyone's talking about that. I just hired 3 people this month. I'm not seeing a slowdown, and I'm very slow to grow. I only grow my company when I have the capacity from last year's profits to fully support it. So I'm growing this company off 2017's profits to turn this into 3 more people. So now we're at 11 people.
Nice. I like it. Yeah, good stuff. More from Leo Kane, Principal Project Manager, Beryl Engineering here in studio. And we also have James DeGerome as well, Executive Show Producer with the Consumer Quarterback Show. Coming up, we have our interesting story, our feel-good story of the week. Our 5th grader saves choking classmate, says he knew what to do after watching a documentary. Stay with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We'll be right back after this short break.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at consumerqb.com. listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, the Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty, and a top listing agent here in Tampa Bay. We're looking for inventory, need more listings here in Tampa Bay, and I've got a hot one here, compliments of Platinum MVP Realty, 15648 North Himes Avenue in Tampa, 5 bedrooms, 4 bath, beautiful property, pool home, and on a cul-de-sac. A great buying opportunity at $485,000, over 4,346 square feet, and it's got some beautiful gleaming Italian marble floors on the inside. Himes Avenue in Tampa, and also a beautiful property in the old northeast section of St. Petersburg. This is 215 12th Avenue Northeast, 4 bedrooms, 5 bath, $1.4 million, and a great opportunity to live in the beautiful area just north of downtown St. Petersburg, known as Old Northeast. Now, this is a pre-construction home. It's almost completed, and you will be able to choose the colors of the cabinets, the appliances, the flooring, once you are in escrow. Beautiful buying opportunity here in lovely Tampa Bay.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
And we're giving a shout out to the maids. We've got Mary Maids. Relax, it's done. Let Mary Maids take care of your winter cleaning. We know clean. Leave the details to us. Bonded, insured, customized cleaning. And they have additional services available. The same team cleans whenever possible. They are the recipients of the Women's Choice Award, America's most recommended cleaning service. Mary Maids, relax, it's done. And we'd love for you to reach out to them. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you, and you're going to get a special discount when you do. And we're back here in studio. We're going to help you win. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host. Leo Kane, Principal Project Manager for Beryl Engineering in the house. James DeGerome in the house as well, Executive Show Producer. So let's kind of open it up. You know, we talk about the economy a lot on this show. Let's talk about the local economy. Let's talk about marketing a little bit. You know, how business owners, we're looking for a select few categories right now for our show.
We are.
So we've got a unique strategy here, an opportunity for small business owners, managers, entrepreneurs to appear on our show and bring some relevant content.
We do. We just had brought on board some new partners for the show. I'm excited about Ruth Watkins. She's going to be on tomorrow. She's been a great new partner, new addition. Dr. Gil Mejia from Rejuvenate Your Life. So we've got we cross a lot of spectrums. That's the thing you have to consider about the Consumer Quarterback Show is we have a team here, and we're going to put together guys that can fit together, refer business to one another, and work as a team. In addition to just providing a great radio, TV show. So I mean, it's something that I'm excited to sell going forward because I think we have a few seats open, and we really get a good competition amongst people out there to try to figure out who we can bring on board as a new partner.
Yeah, and we want to run an opportunity for folks to reach out if you're interested in appearing on the show. We're also looking for Spanish real estate agents. If you know of somebody that's a Spanish real estate agent for our real estate brokerage, potentially business owners as well, business owners, attorneys, different niches that we're looking for. Reach out to our consumer advocate hotline 813-670-7372. 813-670-7372. We'd love to talk to you. You can text or call that line as well, 670-REQB. And yeah, so we've got some success stories as well throughout the days. Leo, you mentioned with the show 8 months now?
Yeah, I've been with the show about 8 months. I think that's what my website shows, 8 months of shows on.
Nice.
I just love that aspect of it. Being on the radio, I know the show is airing right now on Monday, February 26th, the day we opened our St. Pete office.
Yep.
Very excited about that. But the true joy for the show comes in the form of the podcast that I received from Anthony a couple of days after that. I highlight that on my website. I post it in the news section. It really makes us more credible in the industry.
Yep.
I've been deposed before, and I can refer back to specific episodes where I talked about that topic on the air. It just makes it all stronger. And then the best part is the inner networking I do with Chuck from Suncoast Roofing, Jason from Avery Construction, the lenders for the 203Ks, the insurance people. It's just this inner networking, the group. I actually was comparing my numbers. I get more from the Consumer Cornerback Show from referrals and thank you for closed business dollars than I do through organizations like BNI.
Very cool. That's awesome. That's a great testimonial.
Now, Leo, as far as your expansion to St. Pete, how did you pick the office? Did you have a geographic plan in mind? Like, do you expand to certain areas because that's where the business is?
Oh, all of our inspectors really work out of their houses, so I picked the office based on proximity to my admin because we were just getting too many phone calls. So I needed to add another admin. So I wanted to open a satellite office, basically renting a corporate office in a corporate condominium. And I wanted that to be close to where my St. Pete person already lived. And then there's the power of saying I have a Ruskin office, a Tampa office. Now I have a St. Pete office.
What is your range? How far will you go?
I will go an hour in any direction from downtown Tampa. So we're all the way up to Weeki Wachee, down to Manatee, over to Lakeland, and then the ocean on the west side.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. That's pretty much what I'll do with listings, That hour drive just seems to be a magic number.
It's palatable. I mean, anything over 45 minutes starts to get tedious. So 45 minutes really is the ideal long drive. You're supposed to stretch once an hour, and you can't do that if you're driving for more than an hour. And psychologically, it just starts getting taxing when you're driving for more than 45 minutes. So we just say an hour because it's easier than saying, well, we'll only go 48 minutes north.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to bring your video games. Keep yourself sharp. I know how you
while
are.
driving?
No, I'm just saying, anytime you get a chance to stop and stretch like you're stretching, you're actually playing video games.
That would be awesome. That's what I do every night. I actually do a whole routine where I'm basically doing yoga poses and playing video games at night.
Nice. There you go. Getting the stretching in.
Hey, got to hold the stretch for 10 minutes while facing forward. I might as well play a video game.
Yeah. The
multitasking.
The idea of net time, and Tony Robbins calls net time no extra time. I love that. I'm in the gym working out, making my body better, my physical body, and then I'm listening to an audiobook at the same time, so I'm feeding my mind. I'm getting smarter. I'm getting, stronger at the same time. So I love the idea these days of, networking and doing the net time at the same time.
Yeah, it's like people are getting used to that thing in the margin of your PC. It's something extra that's going on all the time. Now you got three things going at once. It seems like just you're home.
Yeah.
Just like your house, you got the radio, the TV, kids going, everything's going at once, and you're fine now. It used to be, it'd give you a headache.
If you just joined us, I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. We're talking with Leo Kane here with Beryl Engineering, James DeGerome as well, and show producer here with the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we got some good things coming up next month. We got Thursday, March 8th. We've got our gratitude party over at Cox Media Group. It's going to be a great time. We're going to bring in food and drinks, beer and wine, have some great networking with Andrew.
I'm excited to see Andrew and his group and how we interact and everything. And I just think the opportunity to expand, you guys, when he was on the program, we talked about the power of networking and how one-to-one contact becomes one-to-all the team on the other side. Right. So that's the whole idea. It's the same thing we support here. We're going to try to get you involved with everybody, not just the person that you're changing your business cards with or talking to directly.
Yeah, next month, too, as well. On the 15th, 16th, we got Ken Shamrock coming in, UFC Hall of Famer, WWF legend, and Des Woodruff as well coming in town. And it's going to be really cool. We're launching a new business together, and the Business Growth Celebrity Academy is going to be launched. So,
some of that, they're coming to Tampa to do it right here, right?
Yep. Going to be right in here, right in studio.
Nice. Now, how did you get that whole thing figured out, Brandon? What did you do there?
Yep. What we did is we went on the BAM network, buying a meeting, reached out to Des Woodruff, had a great conversation with him about the idea of expanding the show into other markets, taking it into other markets with the first book that I wrote, Become the MVP in Your Industry by Surfing the Radio Waves. So it's a follow-up to that. We're going to be launching that nationwide.
And Ken's affiliation is through the same, he also has an interest in business expansion, or what was Ken's initial?
Yeah, Ken is Dez's partner.
Gotcha.
So they're partnered up, and he's going to be kind of our spokesman, knock out your competition.
I was going to say, the original UFCs were the best. When I look, if you think you're a fan of MMA or you're used to it now, go back and look at the first few years of that stuff. There was no weight division. I mean, it was incredible, and they let them go quite a bit.
The Wild West.
Yeah, I can imagine that guy's got some stories.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. He's got a podcast too. They go on a story time with Ken. It was what's their world's most dangerous podcast. Yeah, listen to a couple of them. That's their podcast.
Can you imagine that you poke that guy in a bar? What'd you get yourself into there?
He just told a story about a guy messing with him on a plane because he accidentally was like tapping his foot on the seat, and he was real rude to him. And then finally, when he figured out, so I think somebody may have said, "Hey, that's Ken Shamrock." He said the guy finally apologized to him. He goes, "No, you want to apologize to me now?" He had this whole story behind it because he tried to be nice about it at first, and the guy was just a total jerk. But a little bit off topic there, but yeah. So the idea is the networking and the expansion, the business expansion. With the show, we're pitching one to many, one to thousands. With the show and the idea. So that's the idea of the expansion. Is we're going into other markets. We're going to be teaching other real estate agents, lawyers, Could be insurance agents, pretty much anybody that wants to be at the center of a show, in Atlanta, New Orleans, LA, New York, wherever. Hey, start your own show. Here's how we did it. Here's the tool. Here's the blueprint on how to do it.
Absolutely, and it's such a unique marketing opportunity. I get that back all the time with people who are like, so I'm gonna get my own time to say whatever I want. I can customize my message. When they compare it to a regular print or radio or television spot, they're hoping that goes in the right ears and
right.
that you get to say whatever you can in 30 seconds or 60 seconds, whatever you can afford. Man, what about 12, 14 minutes of getting people to know who you are? Because that's the idea.
Yeah.
We want to get your personality out there. People can look at a website or look it through if you're an old timer, look through a phone book. That doesn't tell you anything about who you're dealing with. You want to know who the person is.
Yeah, it's all about timing. And nowadays, when you take that content, you repurpose it on your website, your social media, you can target directly in. I forgot which audiobook it was I was listening to, but he gave a quick story of he's in a big audience and he's public speaking and he's saying, okay, just to prove a point about business, who here is in the market to buy a house? Like 10% of the room. Who here is in the market to buy a car? 10, 12% of the room. Who's here is in the market to buy a new set of tires for your car? But, so he went through, and so finding that ready, willing, and able buyer at the specific time, that's the key to business.
Yeah.
That's the key to marketing.
I mean, it's timing.
Yeah.
So your message has to be ready. You have to craft your message at the right time and the right way. And you just don't get the flexibility anywhere else that you can get on the show.
That's right. All right, stay with us. When we come back, more from our expert contributors. We're going to talk about this feel-good story of the week and our Tell Me Something Good. We've got a fifth grader that saves a choking classmate, and he says he knew what to do after watching a documentary. Stay with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to ConsumerQB.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
Hi, my name is Joe Stalteri. I'm one of the owners of Complete Care Systems. At Complete Care Systems, we do carpet cleaning, upholstery cleaning, tile and grout sealing, wood floor and laminate floor deep cleaning, as well as stripping and waxing of linoleum and vinyl floors, and a whole lot more. We also run daily deals and special, which you can find at CompleteCareSystems.com, or simply call Trisha up at 727-364-5158, and she'll answer all your questions and give you over the phone free estimates. Or she'll send me out to your home or office to give you an on-site free estimate. At Complete Care Systems, we don't cut corners, we clean them.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host, the Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of Platinum MVP Realty. Check out PlatinumMVPRealty.com. You can do a real estate search there. You can also do a home valuation, PlatinumMVPRealty.com. And ConsumerQB.com is our radio show website. You can see links to all of our expert contributors. And let's go ahead and give a shout out to one of those contributors, Chef Will Wagner, Healthy Meal Delivery Service. Chef Will and his team conveniently deliver organic meals to your home or office. And we're talking paleo, ketogenic, vegan, and gluten-free kids menus available. Chef Will Wagner, he's my chef, and he can be your family chef too. And it's great. You have these days so many choices and the ability to have organic food dropped off to your home or office for a very reasonable fee.
The convenience is, you can't match that.
That's right.
You spend all your time driving around, now you're just opening the front door.
That's right. You think about going and buying the food, cleaning it, washing it, preparing the food, the dishes.
And the perishability. You don't know how much, you don't always use all your portion. You don't know, sometimes, you're off by a little bit. Not with Chef Will.
That's right, Chef Will. Also, got to give a shout out to Steve Gunnan over at Replenish IV Solutions. Felt a little cold coming on yesterday. Went over and got plugged up to the IV, and I feel much better today. So, got me in here in the studio doing my thing. So check him out. He's right there on Gandy Boulevard as well, right next to Dalton Dental. Reach out and let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you to give you special incentives. And we'd love to hear from you. 670-7372, 813-670-7372. The phone lines are open. All right, in studio with me today, Leo Kane, Principal Project Manager for Beryl Engineering. We also have James DeGerome as well. He is the producer for the Quarterback Show here. Let me pitch this listing here. I just got a hot listing on the beach as well, Apollo Beach, 6508 Bimini Court in Apollo Beach. This is a great property. It's a fisherman's paradise. You've got a property where right on the canal, saltwater canal, minutes to Tampa Bay, over 5,600 square feet, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, and it's $690,000. Check out the pictures online at PlatinumMVPRealty.com. Compliments of Fabre Frameworks, our real estate photographers, are Fabre Frameworks, Sean and Manny.
They'll be in here, I think, a couple, maybe 2-3 shows from now.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Look forward to those guys.
All right, so let's go back to Leo Kane, Principal Project Manager, Beryl Engineering. So you're helping people understand more about the foundation of their home. I think so many times the foundation's overlooked. People look into a home, they walk in and they look around, they say, wow, there's gorgeous cabinetry. Look at the crown molding, but they don't realize, what's underneath is what really matters.
Yeah, I've seen flippers I preach this to every single flipper who I teach a class to, is take a look under the home before you spend $50,000 on the kitchen. Right. I have seen it before where brand new granite countertops, level 3 granite, the thick stuff cracks because they used the thick stuff. It was too heavy. They didn't put a pier under it. And the weight of it just kind of makes the granite crack as it starts to crumble. I had a house yesterday, and I'd never actually seen this before in person. But, you get those old 1910 houses and they put a little addition on the back and they just kind of keep growing onto it. Well, they never extended the stem wall, which is the center beam down the center of the house. So that was actually sinking into the ground at a 30-degree angle. And then the other center beam, they ran perpendicular, which is opposite. And every single one of those blocks had a 2-inch crack and they were caving in on themselves. I had never seen anything that bad.
What causes that?
They just didn't support the house correctly.
Just the weight?
That stem wall should have run the whole distance, and they just stopped it halfway. So the back side of the house, it's called cantilevering, and that's where basically the best way to say that is the balconies. The cantilevered balcony, there's nothing underneath the balcony, but it's held on by the wall. You can do that for a certain span distance, but this had nothing. So it was like the entire backside of the house was cantilevered.
Pricey. It sounds like it's going to be pretty expensive to repair.
Yeah, you have to basically rebuild the whole house. There's no way around it. All the flooring has to come out. You have to support the roof while you're redoing the flooring, so there's all this extra shoring and stuff. This is how that $140,000 renovation became $140,000.
Wow.
It's just, you got to make sure your foundation's in place.
Tell me, Leo, how does our weather impact the foundation? I know whether we have drought conditions or heavy rain, does that influence you guys as far as what you can?
Oh, definitely. I mean, drought conditions or rain conditions, that's what kind of caused the sinkhole to open up in Land O'Lakes last year, was we went through a period of semi-drought, and then we had this deluge of rain, and it filled up the aquifers, because there's underground rivers, you can't see them. And that underground river was dry and then got wet, and then all that sand started to compact, and then everything just fell apart.
So how deep can you see when you go out there and look?
Well, we're not doing any invasive testing. That's where we're actually disturbing the soils and going down. We look for evidence of structural, foundational. We can see it. We're experienced. We see the depressions on the property. We can see the fence line slumping. We can see pools starting to shift or houses starting to shift. Pier and beam, we can see the different beams being rotted out by leaking toilets or wood-destroying organisms, aka termites. Mm-hmm. So we can see all that. There's a lot we can see without going into the ground. And if we see the warning signs above ground, we then recommend sometimes the testing where they're taking soil samples and seeing what soil layers might be missing.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I just think we talked about all the underground water in our state, and we're so flat. We're so sea level everywhere. You got to be careful when you're digging around, and you can't even go 5 feet without hitting water.
Yeah, it was actually interesting. I just came back from New Orleans. I was there the week of Mardi Gras, and I visited some of the cemeteries, and they actually don't bury people underground there. Yeah. And in the cemeteries, it looked really spooky because some of the graves, the mausoleums are actually starting to shift, and I can actually see cement starting to break and heave up, and that's just from the water shifting. I mean, that's just like zombie apocalypse looking. So if you ever get a chance and you visit New Orleans, I highly recommend checking out the Lafayette Cemetery. It's in the Garden District.
How old is that? Do you know how long it's been?
I was looking at tombstones from the mid-1800s. Wow. It was awesome. I think they filmed a piece of Queen of the Damned there, that Tom Cruise sequel that he wasn't in with the vampires.
Well, you're too young to remember Easy Rider, but there's a scene also in Easy Rider.
Yeah.
When they're going through the cemetery.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, it's just amazing to see what the ground can actually do. And then there's another time I was in a place called La Brea, Trinidad, and they have an active underground volcano on the island, and it changes the landscape on a daily basis. So all the houses are built on piers. Literally, the road I took to get to the water plant I was working at was not the road I took to get back because that road had moved 30 feet.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's just all the shifting of the soils and sands. It's amazing. But if you're ever in New Orleans, check out the Lafayette Cemetery so you can see what shifting ground conditions do on a daily basis.
That's interesting. Yeah, Leo Kane, Principal Project Manager for Beryl Engineering here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes, also in studio, James DeGerome, Executive Show Producer with the Consumer Quarterback Show. And yeah, I sold a piece of vacant land just last week, a couple weeks ago, and they were asking, well, what would they want to test for the land? There's a lot of things you want to look at, right?
With land, I mean, you want to do something called a Phase 1 environmental study, and you want to know the history of the land and the history of the neighbors. There's a lot of times where you can have contaminants on your land and not even know about it because there could have been a gas station next door. There could have been underground. There could have been a kitchen with a grease trap that was just. And these are all the neighbors. You could have had a tire factory next door. These are extremes, but these are what you can really have next door on vacant land, and that will impact your ability to build because they're going to make you clean your land. Because I talk about this a lot in environmental world. Nothing nature knows to stop at a property line. That's why we put fences up to stop animals, but even that doesn't keep them out. So any environmental condition is like that. Nothing knows to stop at property lines. So when you're doing a Phase 1 study, you look at all the surrounding properties, the history of that land, the history of those lands, and say, what am I actually building on at this point?
Right.
Have you ever run into a protected species? I had a guy tell me a story about a gopher tortoise.
Yes.
And then there's different. Do you see the ad for the jays that the company wanted to build a factory and they had to relocate all these little birds that are barely 2 inches high?
Yeah, we run into that more than we'd like to. I mean, the gopher tortoise, great animal. It digs a burrow system that 150 other animals utilize and live in.
Wow.
If you want to learn about gopher tortoises, I highly recommend the Lowry Park Zoo has the gopher tortoise exhibit. It's a fascinating animal.
They're protected, right?
They are very protected. I got asked actually, and because I'm so active in the turtle community, in the tortoise community, I was asked one time to do a relocation to relocate one of them through a design plan. I said we couldn't do it. Not that we couldn't do it design-wise, but we wouldn't do it because we respect the gopher tortoise or any animal that is protected that creates the habitat for that many other animals.
So, yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, when you go out to inspect, that's not your job necessarily to find that, but have you ever seen a project that gets halfway in and then they say, hey, look, heads up, you've got something living here that you can't displace?
I had that happen to me in 2002. I was working for Collier County. We were going to build a water well to service the Vanderbilt region, and the project was completely stalled because of a gopher tortoise.
Wow.
We were talking an $8 million project that got put on hold for 3.5 years because of one gopher tortoise.
So they were
One
just
turtle.
waiting
He
for him
became
to
my
move on,
mascot.
or you had to relocate him, or they're just waiting for him to move to a new neighborhood?
They lived for 100 years, so he was
Wow.
eventually relocated. But yeah, he became my mascot while I worked for Collier County. I had a little picture of him. I presented him to the Board of County Commissioners saying my project's on pause because of him, and I slammed a picture of him on the desk. And, from that point forward, I fell in love with tortoises.
Yeah, just 100 years.
The mineral rights is something else that you come into play.
I'm not knowledgeable in the mineral rights on. I know different states have different regulations on who owns the minerals that are found under the land, but that's too far removed for me to even speculate on.
Yeah, it's under the ground, so something to consider. When you're looking at buying real estate, selling real estate, what are you on top of? Is there oil down there? These in Florida, what are we mining a lot? You see those mines for phosphates, stuff like that.
Yeah, I know when they're building new subdivisions, before they become subdivisions, they actually blast the ground and they create quarries, and they do a lot of blasting, and that's how we get all of our limestone to be used as aggregate in concrete. So when people see these concrete trucks, the reason why they're spinning, in addition to trying to keep the concrete from drying, is to keep the rocks and keep everything mixed, because it's a mixture of just this cement, and it's also a mixture of rock.
Yeah.
So that's what they're trying to do, is keep it moving. That rock comes from the quarries.
And a lot of supplies, building supplies, are in a very low supply right now. Labor, supply. We'll talk about that when we come back here, as well as our feel-good story of the week when we come back. Fifth grader saves a choking classmate. Stay with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey everybody, I'm Forbes Riley, celebrity TV fitness host and creator of The Spin Gym. I'm here today with Brandon Rhymes, and you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Great ways to get happy, healthy, and wealthy.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
Enjoy tranquil seclusion in an eco-lover's paradise. Paddling through the mangroves where the only sounds you'll hear are the sounds of nature. Because you deserve to relax on vacation, visit Pasco County, Florida.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at ConsumerQB.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Back in studio here, James DeGerome, executive show producer, Leo Kane, principal project manager, Beryl Engineering. And I've got a hot listing here over in St. Petersburg. I want to let you know about 7941 58th Avenue North, unit number 207, 2-bedroom, 2-bath property, close proximity to the pool. It's a great opportunity to purchase here in Tampa Bay. $129,000. in the Terrace Park of Five Town subdivision, Pinellas County. Also, great property here, 8737 Bardmore Place in unit number 103 in Largo. 2-bedroom, 2-bath property. This one's $195,000, 8737 Bardmore Place. And it's a reduced, this is a great floor plan here. And it's a great opportunity at 1,040 square feet. Got a $195,000 list price on it. Great buying opportunity in beautiful Tampa Bay. And we're giving a shout out to Brio Tuscan Grill at the International Plaza. Brio Tuscan Grill is our restaurant partner, 2223 Northwest Shore Boulevard in Tampa. And it's located off of Bay Street next to the Renaissance Tampa Hotel. And we've got a specials going on now. Our partner, Brio Tuscan Grill at the International Plaza, they have something new to offer fans of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Now, if you mention the Consumer Quarterback Show during your visit, you will get one of Brio's signature appetizers free just for mentioning the show.
Man, I can't believe how good. That's such a great deal. You have no idea until you go, of course. I know out there you're listening, saying it's an appetizer. Go have one.
Yeah,
Well, what happened to the water with lemon deal? They took that one away?
They got that combined with this now.
Well,
you get water with lemon.
You talk about a show partner. Brio is doing it for us.
Yeah. Check out some of these apps. Go let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. And you got to try the spicy shrimp and eggplant.
Oh, yeah.
Magnificent.
The bruschetta is great. Oh, man.
Pan-seared shrimp, Romano-crusted eggplant, black pepper cream sauce. Got beef carpaccio, calamari, and just really good stuff. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. And we're back here in the studio. We're going to help you win. And let's go ahead and do our feel-good story of the week. Every week we want to tell you something positive, give you some news that is positive against the negative mainstream media.
Tell me something good.
All right, so today we got a 5th grader who saves a choking classmate, says he knew what to do after watching a documentary. A 5th grader has been credited with saving the life of a choking classmate and says he knew what to do by remembering a documentary he watched years ago. Benjamin Ford jumped into action when he noticed a classmate starting to turn colors and gasping for breath. I wasn't really calm. My heart was racing. I just knew I had to help her, he told CBS 6 News. Though he was nervous, Greenwood Elementary School officials said the 5th grader had all the right moves. I felt like I had to hurry up and get to her, Benjamin said. I thought in a couple more seconds she might not make it. And Ben has been recognized by Greenwood Elementary School administrators who shared the story of his heroic intervention with the entire school. So pretty cool.
Yeah, how about that?
5th grade, man.
I've seen the movie Groundhog Day, but I still don't think I could do the Heimlich maneuver correctly in a restaurant in a pinch.
Well, they teach the kids now, too. They teach them, the CPRs and all these things. And of course, Braylon's wanting me to let her babysit. She's 12 now. She wants to babysit. I said, no, you're not babysitting yet. I don't know. She said, no, that's the rule. That's the law.
12?
Yeah. I'm like, wow. No, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I wish I had a 12-year-old babysitter when I was growing up. Would have got away with a lot more, I think.
Yeah, right. So back here in the studio helping you win. All right, Consumer Quarterback Show. Check out consumerqb.com and look at the expert contributors there. We want you to think about this show as the hub of your financial wheel. Each spoke extending out, representing another one of our preferred partners, our on-air expert contributors. These are the folks that can help you. Everything from credit improvement, bankruptcy law, family law, divorce. A lot of ways that we can help you. PC design. We have all types of experts, estate sales, lots of different ways. Home services, CPAs, financial advisors. We want to help you live a better life. Avoid a lot of that commission-based advice that's so prevalent. ConsumerQB.com. Just check out ConsumerQB.com. All right. So what else you guys seeing out there?
I was just going to say, Brandon, just to go off what you just mentioned about the show, we have the specific seats out there for sure. And we talked about how we have, the power of the network and the power of the group. But if you feel like there may be a niche for you that doesn't occur to us, feel free to call us and let us know that, hey, you have a chance to contribute in this way or that way, because we don't always see the next big thing coming or the next thing that would help the team. So we've got the seats allocated and we're looking for specific people. But say you're out there and you think, hey, I could fit into this or this makes sense for me. Yeah. Let us know about it, because there's possibilities for everyone out there. Just perhaps need to show us how you'd fit into the team.
That's right. Yeah, there's a lot of niches, what we found over the years, 5 years now on air. And there's a lot of niches where, people can come in. And like a couple weeks ago, we had the flood insurance experts. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That was interesting. That was content that was bringing, a unique strategy.
And looking forward, I've got a gentleman from a solar gentleman coming in to give us some advice about solar and the new technologies that are involved with solar, and also how it benefits you from a construction standpoint and what you can do with it. There's a lot of things happening in terms of the panel design and different things. So with technology changes and the advent of new construction technique, there's a lot of different opportunities to help us out there. So
solar would be great.
Yeah.
Solar, someone with the solar business, energy efficiencies, those are things that I think definitely are trending.
You see some of the real elaborate pool design now. I'd love to get somebody who's done some of those really elaborate pools. We have a lot of home builders and people in the home services, and you see all these new elaborate pools. Have you seen the TV shows where they go through and they show you the pool design? I mean, it's amazing.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
they got
crazy.
the one where they build it under the house now.
Yeah, I mean,
so the pool's kind of underneath.
I've seen the bar in the water. You know what I mean? When you come in, and you have your outdoor kitchen surrounded by your pool. It's really something else.
Yeah, that's sweet. I like that.
I like that idea. You can't have basements in Florida, but if you fill it full of water and call it a pool, you're set.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
Looking at it from the engineer, I didn't even think of it that way.
Yeah. The what else is going on? So we got the school shooting down there. I saw just last week there was a lot of people going up to Tallahassee, and
it seems like we've reached a critical mass here. You know what I mean, things are starting to happen where people are just. It has to be now. We have to have answers now. We're not going to wait again anymore. And you wonder. I hate to say this, but it seems like the impetus again for change was the fact that we have video of this event. These kids had their phones on.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And you get to see the actual horror that they're going through and feel it. And now all of a sudden it's much more serious for everyone. Just like when there's video found of any incident out there.
The Vegas shooting.
Sure, it changes everyone's perception immediately. It seems more real. It seems like we've got to do something. It's urgent. It's a shame that it takes that, but that's where we are now. If there's video, it certainly helps make that real for everybody.
And I also heard a scary statistic that there was like 50 incidents last year with guns at schools.
Wow.
That was what was scarier to me is not the one-off that which is tragic, what happened in Southeast Florida, but the fact that there was like 49 other incidents that didn't make the news.
Yeah.
That just happened last year.
Well,
That's
Trump
scary.
also tweeted out that he's looking. I forgot the specifics, but it was something toward, the screening for mentally ill. Which I think everybody agrees. I think it said something about raising the age to 21 versus 18. There was some pretty good stuff in there. It seemed to make sense.
I've seen some studies that indicate mental health is something that can change on you. It's not as if you can have a diagnosis as a child and say, well, we checked him, he's fine. You've got to stay vigilant with that kind of thing, because you hit an age in your late teens or early 20s and you have some physiology changes going on, and that can precipitate that kind of thing. So it's not as something where you can say, well, he's always been a good boy or whatever. You've got to keep your eyes open and check people.
And the hormones for the high school, middle school kids, that's a big challenge.
Yeah, I mean, I heard this on one of my favorite TV shows, Black Lightning. It takes place with the principal, who's a superhero, but he says school is the one place people should be able to feel safe. Yeah. And I really believe that.
Absolutely. Growing up in South Florida, LaBelle, I remember, back in the day, I think kids used to have them in the back of their windshield and their not the windshield, but the back window. They had the hunting rifles and shotguns, but I think, towards my, the mid 90s when I was in school, they kind of said, no, you can't bring them to school even. But yeah, so you think about how some of that's changed over the years.
Hey, school used to be so safe that we'd go there to play ball on the weekends. When the school was closed, we'd just hang out, play ball use the field or the courts, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And now it's got to be locked down like you're going inside an institution.
Yeah. It's crazy how that stuff changed. Yeah. So what else going on? Any current events? Anything's happening here in the market? Got the weekend. I got an invite for the weekend. What you got there?
Oh, I got the 7 cultural dances of Michael Jackson going on Friday, March 2nd.
There's 7?
There's 7.
How many? Well,
there's the moonwalk, the hat tip.
Built in our top 10.
Collar flip. I mean, we'll have to do the top 10. We'll have to have one of the top 10s be the 7 dances of Michael Jackson.
Now you have the holograms of all these people that have died.
Right.
Tupac, and you got the holograms. They do concerts. I guess they charge people to come in there and do that.
It's between John telling me the story of having a show about watching somebody play video games to now we're gonna reinvent the deceased celebrity. I mean, technology is allowing anything you can think of to become popular, or even become a big. He's got kids that are making millions of dollars from putting on a show about how to play video. I'm sure Leo is more familiar with it than I am.
And how to beat the boards, get to the next level, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing. I watch some of those Twitch streams myself. It's just, you get someone, it's just a social thing. Everyone's just sitting around, drinking, smoking, doing whatever. One guy's playing video games, responding to us, having a conversation while he plays the game. It's a lot of fun. It's a way to kill time.
Never would have thought of that. I mean, when I saw people playing poker on television, I thought, whose idea was this? Now it's on all the time.
Yeah. It is. You'll see it. Bowling's on there, too. All right. Hey, I want to thank Leo Kane, Principal Project Manager for Beryl Engineering, for coming in. James DeGerome as well. Thanks for filling in today. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Pack up some food, some clothing that you may have, carrying it with you to and from your commute. Be a force for good. Hand it to that person that you see in need. Also, thank a police officer, a sheriff's deputy. Thank them for their service. Buy them lunch, buy them dinner, and be a force for good. We'll see you next time here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Brandon Rhymes 1. We'll see you next time.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show, weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Biz.